There are times when history stops walking and begins to run. Moments when years of confusion, hesitation, and illusion collapse into a single storm of truth. Moments when the impossible arrives from nowhere and the nation stands stunned. India just lived through such a moment. The war shook millions. It tore apart the pretty speeches, the borrowed ideals, the fragile policies we kept worshipping. The conflict revealed what we refuse to see, that the world does not honor weakness, and history never forgives confusion. And yet, even after such a brutal awakening, false comfort returned in the name of peace. The road led to Tashkent, a meeting staged in the language of diplomacy, but carrying consequences that would reshape Asia. For the first time, an aggressor stood before the world as India's equal, not through strength on the battlefield, but through clever diplomacy and the support of powerful patrons. A nation that had crossed our borders walked away with recognition, legitimacy, at a place inside Soviet influence. It was not India's victory, it was Pakistan's greatest diplomatic triumph. And then, when the world still held its breath, a lightning strike. Lal Bahadur Shastri, Prime Minister of India, died on foreign soil, hours after signing the document. The nation froze. Shock replaced debate. Questions drowned out celebration. And the true meaning of Tashkent was never examined with the honesty it deserved. At the same time, another ceremony unfolded, the unveiling of a statue honoring a leader whose name still blazes through the conscience of this land. A leader whose ideals could never coexist with compromise. But the timing raised questions. Was it tribute or distraction? Was it respect or a way to avoid confronting the unanswered truths surrounding his disappearance? Because nearly 2 decades after freedom, India still refused to speak clearly about the one man whose courage, clarity, and commitment had shaped the very soul of the independence struggle. Silence had become policy, silence had become safety, silence had become the shield for those who feared the power of his legacy. And so the question returned, not from rumor, not from myth, but from the conscience of the nation. Why is a fearless leader easier to honor in bronze than to follow in principle? Why is his death more convenient than his return? Why is the truth about him still considered a threat? India stands at another threshold, a moment when the past demands answers and the future demands courage. This is not a call for politics, this is a call for direction, a call for clarity, a call for leadership. Unburdened by fear, unshaken by pressure, unwilling to trade truth for comfort. Until that day arrives, the nation will wait. Because every time history collapses into a single moment, every time the impossible appears suddenly from the shadows, India remembers that unfinished chapter, that unanswered question, that missing leader, and the story refuses to end.